very warm welcome to InnoStars Talks. And today my guest is Rita Rocha, Dr. Rita Rocha, who is the coordinator of the Innovation and Value Creation Office at Nova Medical School. Rita, welcome to InnoStars Talks.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here to talk about Nova Medical School, but also the projects that we are involved. Thank you very much for the invitation.
So let us start actually by talking about Nova Medical School because it is quite a unique animal, if we can call it that way. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So, as a medical school, so we have a public mission. We are a Portuguese institution, and we have this public mission to contribute for a better health. So, our goal is to create impact for our society, to contribute for a better health for our people, the citizens, not only in Portugal, but of course translate that to Europe. And in terms of our strategy for health, we have the school organized in three pillars that are very interconnected because we cannot split. That is training, education, research, and community. So we see these three pillars because they are all relates, and we work in knowledge areas with these three pillars. So, and innovation is like something that connects and strengthens the all the contacts between this training, research, and creating impact in community.
So, but your approach to education differs from the usual medical school, I would say, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes. So we have a very technology literacy about, so our students, they are trained in all these technology advance and what they are doing. But also very important for our school is to train our students, but also the researchers and the staff in this innovation cycle. So for us, it's important to train our students and to understand how they are part of the cycle, of the innovation cycle, how they contribute to invention, and they are part of the inventorship, and also in terms of intellectual property, and also to translate these applicable and also new knowledge into health solutions. So for us, it's important to create like innovation culture around the school. And for that, we have also that are emerging a new campus in Lisbon, in Carcavelos, but also there are these environment that fosters also the collaborations that are very important for us, not only with industry but other partners. And we want to put our students in this collaboration, in these strategic partnerships with all the members. That is very important. And I think that it's like mirrors what EIT Health as a network is doing, that is putting the triangle of knowledge put together.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned at the beginning that community is quite essential for the school, one of the pillars. Could you tell us a little bit more why that element is really essential?
Well, so we are connected not only with patient organizations, but also with hospitals, because in Portugal, there are some medical schools, they are organized in what we call in Portuguese, Centro Académico Clínico. What that means, that to foster and to improve healthcare in Portugal, they put together the institutions of research, medical school, and hospitals to create this continuous innovation process around these institutions, right? So for us, what we do is we work very well with almost all the hospitals in Lisbon, most of them not only public but also private. We work together, and we have like shared projects share, the training sometimes is also shared. So there is this exchange of knowledge between the different institutions. And also in this process, the patient associations, they are also very important, but we work like organizations that have a social mission, for example, that in Portugal, Santa Casa de Misericórdia and others, that they see us as an important player in health, and we have this mission in community to work together. So we see the health as not only in treatment, but a very important part of our school is in prevention. We are a school of what we call health science, not only medicine, and nutrition is very important in our school. So in terms of community, is a school that creates a lot of sessions, for example, for education of special groups of patients that have, for example, metabolic disorders and need, for example, to understand how they should cook their meals. So we have this training also for our community. So we work in different pillars, and of course all together to this to work to a better health.
But it's really interesting what you said about the about the societal impact, because it's not only the professional, the healthcare professional, but it's also the general public that needs to understand certain ways of improving their lives, and from what I can hear, Nova School is medical school is doing that as well. You mentioned education, and we are at a time when education seems to be extremely important, and the skills that we are teaching to the young generations are really important. We are just in the next few days, we're going to celebrate the Science Day. We're going to be celebrating Women's Day, which women obviously play an important role in healthcare as well. I wanted to ask you about those skills. What key skills are absolutely necessary right now to be taught to those young generations of healthcare professionals?
Okay, so of course we are in the technological and in terms of digital era. So, and all of us talk about data. And I think it's important to young scientists in general and all the population to understand how we can create value from the data, right? And this because of course all of us talk about the AI and how AI will influence the healthcare, of course, but there is some afraid also because there are a lot of regulation associated to that. So I think in the next future we should discuss that and train our community, the young scientists, but also all the healthcare professionals about how can we use data and transform data into solutions, because in principle we are going to have a lot of medical AI based medical device that will support, for example, the clinical decision. I'm not saying that they are going to substitute, but they are going to work together, right? And so in this support of the process, but we should discuss how can, for example, because to create these algorithms, we need to have data, and we should work together, the universities, the hospitals, and also the citizens, understand why or the value of the data that needs to be collected, how can we create safe rules, and how we can create innovation from that. So I think that information is very important, and we should include in the training that I feel that is very important. For example, in the last summer, I did a post-graduation in this in law about the health data, because I feel that is necessary to explain others to understand more about that. So I think that in the future we should include. So what I'm saying is, for example, if you are training new doctors, you should not include only medicine on that. We should include also these interdisciplinary skills and
Skills.
knowledge that is very important to create and to innovate, because of course a lot of people discuss about innovation, but for that Pierre, you should think and create structures since the beginning. Okay, for example, when you are collecting and you have a consent for someone that give you authorization to use the data that you are collecting, you should mention that the data, for example, is for research, but if it has value, should translate for innovation that then will be important for the society. So in the beginning, we need to create structures from the initial one when you are starting your idea, and you should train the healthcare students in thinking about that. We are doing that in terms of, for example, PhD programs. We are including a lot of these ideas there because we know that is important. Because when you understand better laws, regulation, ethicals, you understand and contribute more for this process. So, is my
So
honest
what I
opinion about.
So what I sense from your response now is that technology adoption, so the ability to adopt new technologies and translate it into, whatever is needed in medicine, that is one of the skills. Another skill is the legal sort of issues, because you need to be able to understand the sort of consequences of dealing with data, but you also have to be able to analyze data. So data analysis skills as well. And I understand this sort of ethics, basically, or ethical conduct, so to speak, or being able to think ethically and and work ethically. These are some of the skills that I understand are quite essential.
Yes, thank you. You did a good summary. So, yes, it is. So, for example, we have here a lot of workshops and post graduations for relate with ethics and also about this clinical research that includes a lot of regulation, what is in place at this moment, because we feel that is important for our researchers and our community to understand and to um, understand and be educated in all the regulations, and because if they understand, they explain better and put in place also better studies. That these studies are very important to collect data that then creates new solutions and new technologies. So all these concepts, they are very interconnected. Something that I would like also to say that is very important, that now it is a topic that is appearing in the universities. Of course, in engineering, they have a lot, but in the medical school, we should also train in what is intellectual property and how it is related with innovation, because we need to protect. You cannot protect ideas, but you should protect inventions, and there are a lot of strategies to do that. and and office like what I'm coordinating have a very important role, right? Because this, if your community is more capacitated in this thematic, they will understand what is their role and how they will contribute for an innovation. Because, for example, when you publish, you cannot patent an invention. So you should care about that. You should understand that first you should contact your tech transfer office and explain what is in your mind and what are your results, and then see if there is any in terms of novelty and invention by itself, what if there is some potential commercialization of that, and work with this dedicated office in this process. So understand that in the beginning are these skills very important to train a generation of students and professionals that you know that you need to create value in everything that you do in your job. So it is very important to have that education in the beginning.
Uh, so we're talking about sort of the university seeing that, but do you think that these students, medical students or researchers, whoever they are, understand this need to be educated in all those areas that are not necessarily directly related to medicine? Let's be honest, right?
Yes. So I think they are, because we have here at Nova Medical School student associations that were created with this goal, right? They want to have entrepreneurship mindset, innovation mindset. They know that it is very important, and even researchers that professors that we have, since you create one, two good examples and explain what you can do and how you can transform the research that they are doing long time ago, they understand and they try to know more. So at this moment, we see a difference. But the difference that you start to see in all the institutions, first, you need to create dedicated office that supports, and then you are going to see the results. So what that means, that all the dean, the people that create the change, need to understand the impact. So it was something that so start more or less 3 years ago with the change of the dean of Nova Medical School, and that is a woman, Helena Canhão. And what happened? It was to create a professional, dedicated office to support the community, not only the research, but student staff. And what are the areas? Are impact, funding, and innovation. Why? Because, of course, if we are talking about IP, intellectual property, we know that you need to be fund, and if you are doing some projects, of course, there are a lot of competition. So these areas, they are interconnected. So, and at this moment, we have dedicated, qualified, trained persons that are supporting all the community. All of them, I think it's important to have scientific background to understand all the language, but all of us, we are trained, and we also do a lot of training, like what we call train the trainers, because you need to then to educate your community.
Yes.
So and is what we are doing and you see in 1-2 years a lot of change, only changing the structure that then is changing all the community.
Everything. Yeah. When we look at Nova Medical School, it seems to have quite an international presence, and we've been talking about this community. We've been talking about that collaboration between institutions, but I wanted to ask you about international partnerships, and also that sort of resulting in some sort of collaboration or exchange of experiences between the academic personnel and also the students. How important that is, and how is that done at Nova?
So we have a lot of partnerships, and not only Europe, but United States, for example, Harvard Medical School. At this moment, we have also international and programs dedicated for in entrepreneurship and innovation, right? And also we have also collaborations with Portuguese-speaking countries. That Brazil is very important for Nova Medical School, and we have a very good partnership with, for example, Oswaldo Cruz Foundation, that is also named by Fiocruz. So what is important? Is important, of course, we call these partnerships for mobility of the students, but not only. I think for researchers by itself, and also for staff. And at this moment, what we are doing is we are sharing best practice that, for example, that we have in some topics. And then because we have structures here at Nova Medical School, for example, core facilities to support research and development. There are in other institutions. And what we are using at this moment is to explain how we do this management, how we maintain these structures competitive, how we open these structures, for example, to contract research, to collaborations with industry, and explain that how we create these structures. And we discussed, for example, best practices in with these in these partnerships, and it's very important to create so there is mobility not only in person by itself, but also in this mobility, in this knowledge that is transferred from one part to another. And I think is also a very good way of collaborating, and because of course there are some areas in at Nova Medical School that we want to be better in the future. So normally what we do is try to find institutions around the world where we can learn and understand and share to have more opportunities. But I think in terms in so Europe has good programs in terms of funding that supports for widening countries like Portugal to have these partnerships with other institutions to share best practice, innovation, research, and that is very important. And we are doing a lot of these collaborative projects to learn and to be better and to create these mobility programs inside these projects also.
At the beginning, you mentioned EIT, and now you're talking about Europe and having this sort of these opportunities here. I want to ask you about your collaboration with EIT, with the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, and the network, which is, as we know, the largest, the leading network in a healthcare innovation network in Europe. Could you tell us a bit about the project that you are involved in with EIT and how transformative that has been?
So at this moment, we are involved in two projects. Train for You, that is more related about education and how a technology could facilitate education of healthcare workers. But we have another one that started last year, 2024. That is the Assist. And Assist project is international consortium, mainly focused in Spain, but also as other partners like in Netherlands and Portugal, that we are part of this project. And what is good in this project, and I would like to talk about, is first the Assist is led by a startup that is called Eindhoven. And Eindhoven merged, or it was created, that was idea of a cardiologist and a data scientist. So explains what I'm seeing, that healthcare professionals, they are part of this co-creation process, and there is no only a data scientist or engineer that creates technology. So they are part, and Eindhoven reflects that. In terms of assist, so the goal is to create AI based medical device in the future that will support, very important, the time and the diagnosis of patients that could have symptoms of the acute um, heart infarct. So they could have these symptoms, and also this device in the future could support what we call patient stratification. That is very, very important, to understand what is the resource and the need for emergency treatment. Okay, in terms of the role of Nova Medical School in this project, we are adding a lot of structures. First, we have a clinical research unit inside our school, a CRO that is called by NovaCrew. And what NovaCrew is doing is supporting study protocol design in accordance with the ethical guidelines and also regulatory requirements. So NovaCrew is supporting the study. Then we have our hospitals in Lisbon, and the cardiologists that, of course, will be very important for this patient recruitment. And finally, we have also another structure that is a collaborative laboratory that is developing a digital platform for data collection and data management. That is very important because this is a multicentric international study, and all the data there needs to be harmonization of the data collected, and to have this data quality that is essential to have and to train the algorithm. So, and you are asking, and what is your role in this
And what's
in
the
this
benefit
project?
as well? What's your role, and what's the benefit, for Nova Medical School in that structure, in that project?
So my role in this project, because I'm responsible for management the project inside our school, so I'm like collaborative network builder
Okay.
inside, putting all these structures together. So we need to discuss a lot, because it's not only to design a protocol, it's then to implement the protocol,
Yes.
put running in the hospitals, negotiate with hospitals, and of course to have the much that we can in terms of patient recruitment. And then I also work like I'm the bridge to the other partners of Assist project. The leader, of course, at Open, but also
Mhm.
with other hospitals in Spain that we work together. So these players like me, they are very important because the success of the project depends that all the machine, okay,
Mhm.
needs to work and put together. And I think so I dedicate a lot of my time on this, and because I see that if Assist project could be a good example of our ecosystem, and our ecosystem at Nova Medical School could support other startups to accelerate their technologies to the market, in terms not only in terms of validation, clinical validation, but also in terms of this preclinical assessment that is also very important in terms of pilot studies and so on.
So I asked you also about the benefits for Nova Medical School of, being part of a project like the Assist project. What would that be?
Okay, so very important give us, and I think it's not only this project, but the EIT Health network gives us collaborative opportunities that is very, very important.
Hmm.
Because in most of our institutions we don't have, in contrast with industry, we don't have these business developers that are trying to have and to open collaborations. So for us as a university, I see is the EIT Health is a very valuable network, right? And also important is give us visibility to other partners, put also in contact with other partners that have capabilities and know-how that is complementary to us. Okay, because
Mhm.
alone as an institution, you cannot do alone all the cycle. You need to collaborate, and that is very, very important. So what I see as uh, or the importance of this network, I have learned a lot because what is also important in the EIT Health, they have programs, flagships,
Mhm.
funding, but they are funding in strategic areas to Europe. So they understand where should be create more value in terms of
Mhm.
technology. And this is like a driver for the institutions to work in that field, right? So
Mhm.
for me, I think it's very, very important. And we want to be part of these projects, but
Network.
also
Mhm.
um, EIT Health principle, the InnoStars, what they are doing is to increase the capability of this hub that is so we are not only a single country, we are four: Portugal, Hungary, Poland, and Italy. We are all together and in the InnoStars, and what they are doing is to capacitate not only our students, researchers, but staff by itself, how we can be better in terms of innovation and doing this translation of all research, all knowledge that we produce in the universities. How can they be, be present and transform and transfer to industry, to collaborate with industry, and to create, because this knowledge needs to reach the society to create impact.
Yes.
So it is very important to put different stakeholders together with same goal. And I think what EIT Health is doing is create drivers for the European institutions to work in some areas that we are not familiar or we are not the best ones, but we can be if we collaborate.
Mhm. And my final question: how do you really see how do you envision the future of healthcare, and how do you think Nova Medical School contributes to reaching that future of healthcare?
Okay, so in terms of healthcare, I think at this moment, health cannot be seen like a split and unique, like only working medicine alone. So at this moment, you and for example, when we talk about mental health, there are other aspects that are very important. So what I see in terms of Nova Medical School, what we are doing, we are putting together different science together to improve health, not only medicine, but others like public health, contacts with technology, of course, but also in these putting together all the players, you are creating more impact. And what we are doing is to open the school to collaborations. Okay, understanding that you are not you cannot create um, solutions alone for complex, very complex health needs that we have at this moment. So you need to collaborate to create that solution. So at this moment, we are like, or we have these visions of co-creation, collaborative ecosystem,
Mhm.
open to collaboration. I'm not saying only with industry, but patients organizations, other institutions that have this social mission, for example, that is very, very important. So I think the future is to open the institutions to collaboration.
So I can sense that you're saying that medicine, the future of medicine, is not only the future of medicine, it's actually a future of multiple disciplines combined together to make sure that we bring value to our society and to the public, and we make sure that our health improves going forward. Hita, thank you so much for chatting with me today, and looking forward to coming to Nova Medical School and seeing how you work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you a lot for this opportunity.
InnoStars Talks is a series of insightful discussions with inspiring health innovators brought to you by EIT Health in collaboration with Emerging Europe, a management advisory and the premier source of English language business information about the region.